Lessard is back from the Concord Food Co-op. How are you?
Oh, great. A little gloomy out there, but I think we're all feeling good.
There's going to be more sun as the day goes on, and the weekend's going to be
I'm
gorgeous.
sorry, it rained. Did we have snow?
Yeah, no. We're very happy about that.
No.
Wow. So how Turkey Bucks going?
Turkey Bucks is phenomenal. Just unbelievable how many people are interested in accumulating turkey bucks.
It's great. Hey, Thanksgiving's a big meal.
Yes, it is.
You know
and it's a good segue for today's show anyway. Thanksgiving, turkey box.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing.
I know. I bet he did it special. He knew you'd be talking about turkey bucks.
He's setting the table.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. So what are we doing?
Thoughts on diet. So it's good timing because again now we're
talk
heading
about
in.
harshing the buzz.
I know. We're heading into the eat season, and so trying to keep that under control so that January 1 doesn't become a significant problem, I think is good timing. So maybe some thoughts on diets, tips on how to get through this next 3 months so we don't have a significant undertaking come first of the year.
I like that.
Which is usually a disaster, January 1st. People, great intentions.
That's a strong 3 days.
Yeah, maybe. I was
of turning your life around.
3 hours.
Yeah,
okay, right. They mean well, but it's bad weather or something, and okay, fine. Well, I'll do it next week. I'll start the week. Well, no.
Oh, that's not going to be a good day.
And that's one of the things I'm hoping for, some help, some advice on how to have a little more motivation. I mean, it's a want, but it's not a real strong desire. I mean, when, it's like, well, that ice cream sandwich, I'll just have one, so it's...
Which leads to two.
Which leads to two. You are absolutely correct.
I know.
They're small, though.
I know. You buy the mini ones.
We're
for that
rationalizing
reason.
now. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Back with us, Amanda Fay, pre- and postnatal corrective exercise and
Diastasis.
I know. Diastasis specialist and the founder and co-owner of the Functional Bump, which provides coaching and industry knowledge in all things preconception, pregnancy, and postpartum exercise, nutrition, and mindfulness. You can visit thefunctionalbump.com to schedule a private session with Amanda or attend a group fitness class in Concord and the world.
Yes.
How's that?
That's great.
I
like
like
that.
Okay. And Dr. Otto is back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Boy, you love coming back here, don't you?
I do.
Okay, well, that's great. Certified functional medicine practitioner, naturopathic doctor. Her practice is located at the Whole Health Concord on North State Street. She specializes in getting to the root cause of illnesses, very important, and reducing dependency on medications and surgery, very important. Contact her through their website at naturalmedicinenh.com. I like that. Instead of treating the illness, how about finding out what it is? Mm-hmm. But too often, medicine is just people, make it go away. Mm-hmm. But they still do the kind of behavior and the kind of diet that will keep leading them back to the same place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And you at least go to the root going, okay, hang on. Mm-hmm. We can treat it, however,
let's get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that is both true on the front of looking at lifestyle and the sort of behavioral activities that contribute to our health, but also looking at the genetic picture as well. So we work on understanding where your sort of genetic weak spots are, and if we can better support you to work around those weak spots so that you're not as susceptible to conditions that you otherwise think are inevitable because of your genes.
And I think I see this from time to time, and I'm sure you've heard it. The past 20 years, 25 years, it seems like all of a sudden 50% of America is allergic to something. We were fine before that. Or at least it seemed like we were fine. Now, oh my God, we're allergic to peanut butter and lactose intolerant and this, and we can't. What happened? Mm-hmm. Where did we fall off the trolley here?
It's probably a combination of factors, and I think it's, we want to find the sort of play the blame game and find that one thing that's the reason for, but really it's sort of a perfect storm of changes.
I'm not even looking to blame. I just want to know what happened. Because the kids I grew up with,
right,
in school, grammar school, high school, college, we ate everything.
Right.
We drank everything. There was no, gluten, milk. We were pounding it down. There were no problems. Now all of a sudden it seems like everybody has a special diet. I was like, what happened?
Right. So there's different aspects of that when you're talking about diet or having to change your diet because of because of food. Right. You're either talking about an allergy, an intolerance, or a sensitivity. And those are three very different things in terms of what's happening in the body, what's the reaction from. So an allergy, like a peanut allergy where, I eat a peanut, my throat closes, that's a specific type of reaction. And those are on the rise as well, largely because of the way that our immune systems have been shifting. Again, a couple of reasons.
Is that dietary or environmental?
It's large. There's a lot of environmental
That's what I would think.
Players into that in terms of how our microbiomes are changing and the way that are from a very young age. Again, it's how kids are born, come into this world. If they're coming into the world vaginal or C-section, it's their gut bugs being able to develop over time, especially in those very early stages of development, the food that they're eating and confronting at the very beginning. And then, of course, our food supply. So is the food that we're being confronted with on an ongoing basis, is it different than it used to be? And that can challenge the immune system as well. So there's a couple factors there. And then you've got these other categories, which are sensitivities and intolerances, which have to do with different parts of the immune system or something, again, in the digestive tract where it's unable to identify and break down properly a food or a component of that food. So now you've just got this big can of worms and all different colored worms.
Yeah, right.
Okay, you know how this works. I ask a question, you give me a 6-word answer. You've done this before.
Shoot.
What are you doing?
Every time. I'll learn.
Well, no.
Well,
because
no.
there is more to it. There is more to the
it is.
situation. And this is really, if you want to get to the root of something, you can't just be like, well, my throat hurts. Okay, great. We'll take care of the throat that hurts.
Yep. No, absolutely. And I think a lot of it's environmental. But it just seems like every time you turn, somebody's allergic to something or something. It's like, wow. Restaurants and the special diets. And I'm like, what happened?
Even kind of things that we thought of as conditions that we wouldn't expect to move, like celiac disease, which is a complete inability to process the gluten, protein, and wheat. That has the number of celiac cases is rising far and beyond what you'd expect in terms of people's genetics changing. It really does have to do with environment.
So was celiac? I'm assuming it was around in 1870, but was it recognized or did?
Part of it is that we're better at recognizing it and we have better tests to do that. Yeah. But also part of it is that there are more people who are developing the condition. There are plenty of people who have this sort of genetic propensity to develop celiac disease, but it doesn't necessarily manifest. But our environment is causing those vulnerable people to now actually develop celiac disease versus just have the genetic possibility of it.
And what is it in the environment that is causing that?
Oh man! See, I'm going to open another
one
can
again.
of worms.
You're right.
6 words.
It's not.
Okay. Let's go here.
So it does have to do with the changes in wheat protein itself, the way that it's raised, the way that it's the way the industry
GMO
is
thing?
changing. Yeah, it has to do with genetic modification. It has to do with the food industry trying to change the way that the product tastes and feels, and there are those kinds of factors as well. So it's not. I don't want to blame just genetic modification, but that does play a role.
All right.
We think.
Amanda, we know why Dr. Otto's here. What are you here for? The free coffee? Why did you show
coffee.
up? So what are you here for today?
Well, I am also a holistic health coach.
We're always happy to see you. Don't get me wrong.
No, definitely. I could talk about like different types of diets that we're seeing today, and diets are very trendy, and I feel like part of the problem is just a diet that's a culture, and we think of diets as just that they exist, and really I feel like the way that we can just solve this problem is forgetting about diets altogether, and you really just need to live the lifestyle
Ding, ding, ding.
that it is.
Yeah.
Seafood diet. I see food, I eat it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know, that's the problem. Yeah, that's that, and there's the problem.
Yeah.
There is
and
the problem.
I love what Dr. Otto brought about childbirth these days. Our C-section rates have skyrocketed. And when a child goes through a C-section, not always are they swabbing the mother to get that vaginal flora. And that's what's creating their gut microbiome is when they're traveling down the birth canal. And so we have these generations of C-section. Then then not so much. The moms aren't breastfeeding either, and they're having they're formula feeding. So we have a generation of moms who are C-section, and then their kids have C-sections, and then their gut microbiomes are destroyed generations down.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And breastfeeding, I've always been told, is like, yay.
Yes.
Great.
The best.
So
yeah,
why
if you can.
Is it I'm too busy, or why are women rejecting that?
Sometimes women have a hard time creating the milk supply, or the baby's latching, or maybe it's very painful for them to breastfeed, and if it's going to stress them out, I mean, sometimes moms just have to formula feed completely or supplement with formula feed.
But even if you're supplementing, something is better than nothing, right?
Yeah. Yep. This
Okay,
is very
okay,
true. And there's
okay.
also different companies that mothers can donate their breast milk. Like, on Facebook, you can go
Yep.
look for companies like that will do that.
But see, I like the, forget the diet thing. In terms of Mediterranean diet, this diet,
Keto, keto's
stop
big
putting a
now,
name
yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
I like the. Come on, we're all intelligent. We all know what the game is. If you're at a fast food restaurant 3 times a day for your meals, okay, you know this.
Right.
If you go back for thirds at dinner, hello, we get this, and you have the two ice cream sandwiches.
They're organic, though, from the co-op. They're organic from the co-op. They're very healthy ice cream
fine.
sandwiches.
Gluten-free, right?
But if you have that, if you're not drinking water, but you're pounding down milk and Gatorade and cranberry juice and orange juice, which have sugar, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. We all know this. I mean, I don't care how actively involved, obviously you two, tunnel vision, I get that. But for the people driving to work, just generally, we know this. We know what's good for us. We know what's bad. So how do you modify behavior to say, okay, I really need to do this for me, not for you, not for you. I'm doing it for me. How do you get that?
So I like to kind
6
of bring
words.
it down.
Poor Dr. Otto.
Word number 1. Reducing your exposure to the bad stuff is the most important thing. And that certainly your house, where most people spend a lot of their time, and also where they set up what they're going to be eating over the course of the day or the week. You know, too many, all the time I hear people say, well, you know, because I've got, you know, my husband likes to have the chips, the cookies, and so we've got those around, and, you know, but I only have it, you know, X number of times a day, or I only have this much a day. And I'm thinking, and I say, why is it in your house? If you know that it's not good for you, if you know that most of us, I mean, we're not superhumans. If it's there, it's
Right.
very hard to not consume it.
Right.
So you're dangling this thing in front of your face all the time and just testing that willpower. Why subject yourself to that? And I would also kind of implicate any kind of marketing. So whether it's TV commercials or whatever that's advertising food, and it does get, you know.
Hey, I've made a living doing that. You sell the
Really?
sizzle. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You're not selling the steak. You're selling the sizzle. What it looks like, what it sounds. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
man, that
yeah.
sounds... You're appealing. It's an emotional sale.
Right.
It's not... Yeah, I know it's... Okay, forget that. This is the... And you look at the restaurants when they dish out the lasagna. The cheese is dripping. That, in my mind, I know. Yes, that's what I want. That's what advertisers sell.
Right,
And
right.
it plays well, man.
So you have to know that you're not above other humans, and you just gotta put the blindfold on and not expose yourself to it, because
That's hard.
It is
That's
hard, and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But cleaning your house, preventing it from coming into your home, and you know, and not exposing
It's the
yourself to
same reason you don't
advertising.
go grocery shopping, except at
When
the
you're
co-op.
hungry.
When you're hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what are you buying? You're buying processed food. That's
Yeah.
quick.
You're buying the
Chips
stuff on
and-
the end
Yeah,
cap that's like, oh, that looks
absolutely.
great. Yeah.
Oh, beefaroni. You know, I haven't had that in a long time.
Haven't gone
It's
that
like,
for
oh,
that way
God,
for a while, yeah.
And I, the other day, I wanted, what did I make? I made a meatloaf. Okay. And I wanted some mashed potatoes with it. Walked out to the garden, dug up the potatoes, and I went, there you go. And it's a stupid little thing, but I've got a garden in the back, and I have not dug up a bunch of the potatoes. And I had some Kennebecs and some red New Orleans potatoes. Dug up about 20 of them, made nice mashed potatoes. See, to me, that's a little victory. You know, instead of having a pasta side or something else, potatoes out of the garden. It's like, that's right.
I bet they
You-
tasted a lot better
Oh
too.
man, absolutely, they were fabulous. And not everybody can do that. I understand that.
Yeah, most people can't do that.
But you can go to the store, including the Co-op,
Yeah.
and buy potatoes and make it.
And have that
Stop
ready.
getting the stuff out of the box and out of the package that's hydrogenated or whatever it is, whatever. Get some fresh potatoes and come on.
But how do you explain to the husband that all of a sudden we have no chips in the house?
Oh, get over
Where
it.
where did you move the chips?
You could take that route, or
Hide them in the car.
What I'll say is put them in a separate space that's not accessible to everybody else. So
That's great.
You have
Pat's
your own
house.
special
Yep.
cabinet somewhere that's in your closet or whatever, or you have maybe in the basement or somewhere that's harder to access.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
you
not
don't.
in your.
But you
anyone
don't want to
else's-
make this adversarial either.
Well, this is a good way to do it. It's not that hard. To
No,
go
it's
into
not
the
that
other room.
hard.
If you know that that's where you keep your stuff, you go over there and you have it.
And then you put the substitutes out there. You put the bowl of fruit out
Yeah.
in the kitchen so that I think I'll have a banana instead.
Yeah.
So-
That's the easier thing to grab now because it's
Banana.
more accessible.
Well,
Chips.
Amanda,
Well,
I think you diets, you basically said stop thinking about diets or whatever. Just, but I think the word diet is perceived as a positive, but I think in many cases they can be a negative. Are there negatives that are associated with diets?
Especially chronic dieters. So a lot of times people will go on a diet, they see results, they lose the weight, then they step out of that diet and they immediately gain the weight back.
How long? How long are they committed to that? Where they start seeing results?
Well, it depends what it is. Some people will do like fasting diets where they see results right away, or
that's
juice
bad.
diets.
That's bad news.
Things like Whole30, they'll feel really good come day 7 of cutting out grains and sugar. But when they stop doing that, if they don't make it a lifestyle, they gain the weight back usually more than what they started with.
Right.
And then they keep going down and up and down and up with their weight, which is more unhealthy than just staying at a consistent weight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So
see,
over
that's
time,
that's we'll see,
worse.
and that's good. That's good to consider as you're considering what lifestyle changes can I make moving forward, and especially heading into the holiday season, because I'm sure there's some things we can. Oh, and I know we got to take a break, but I'm sure there's some things that we can do to kind of get ourselves ready for. Oh my God, there's food all around me for 2 months.
I have found, as a casual observer of life, that people only do this when they are goal-oriented. Oh, by the way, we're taking a cruise in March, and I want to fit in the bathing suit. There's the personal motivation. Not, gee, I want to look good every day. I want to feel healthy. It's, oh my God, we're spending $3,000 on this cruise. I want to fit in this bathing suit. Hello, or we're going to the islands. Or there's the personal motivation that will force them. Once that little carrot's taken away, boom, they're back to normal.
Well, what if it's more like I want to always fit in that bathing suit?
Thank you very much. I was
matter
going to
what
say,
time
but
of
it's
year
more
it is.
about
once they're
it's a
there,
bigger picture.
Once they're there, they may want to. I like this. I want to stay.
Yeah.
But some people are going to revert because it's an all-you-can-eat booze cruise.
Yeah, they may also think this is how I want to live.
Yeah, I know.
No, and that's not really what we're talking about here.
Wow. We have to take a break. Be back with Dr. Otto and Amanda Fay and Greg. Right after this. On your left speaker, Amanda Fay. On your right speaker, Dr. Otto. And right in the middle, the stereo part, Greg Lessard from the Concord Food Co-op. Mm-hmm. Going back to you now.
Oh, well, I just wanted to mention that rounded up at the register this month. The recipient is the Community Action Program of Merrimack, Belknap County. And that's just a phenomenal organization. They're
great
so,
folks.
so much. Long list of what they do.
How are we doing on the roundup?
I think this is a real good month again. Real
Just
positive,
rounded up at the register.
Month. And next month is Concord Coalition to End Homelessness.
Now, are you going to stay with this program?
Yes, we have. We will be announcing probably the end of next month who the 12 recipients are for next year.
Sweet. Wow. That's
so,
exciting.
That's going along.
And
great.
that was by everybody's vote back in
Fabulous.
August.
Yes,
Right? That's great.
Yeah.
No, it's a fabulous idea. In the time we have left, Amanda, give me, as we head into Thanksgiving, as Pat said, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Oh my God, there's snow and there's cold. I'm not going out of the house, sitting inside, hibernating. Give me one thing that people can strive for diets to try and make it through.
Strive to moderate.
Now, see,
We do that.
She
That's
did it
great.
in 3 words. That's
You asked for one.
Just saying.
Moderate.
You come back anytime. Okay.
Less than
Dr.
6,
Otto, I'll ask you the same question.
Plan ahead.
Oh, look.
2 words. I can give you
But
that
see,
answer
now I
in
want
2
to
words.
elaborate.
You can't have it both ways.
Okay, you can go back too. But seriously, plan ahead in what respect?
Plan ahead. So, we use the excuse of, oh, well, there's this party coming up and there's, this and that. If you can plan to know when you have such and such events coming up, make sure that the time around that you're you're preparing to eat healthfully. And then when you're at those events, this is what is going to be there. And I'm going to decide ahead of time what I'm going to have rather than waiting till I get there. And then
Look
I
at
just eat
everything, because then you
and-
eat everything. Yeah.
No,
plan
see,
ahead.
I know people prior to going to these parties making the routes, they guzzle a lot of water.
That's great.
Yeah.
Just
Guzzle a lot
thinking
of
that.
water.
I was just
So it
thinking
fills
that.
them up.
Yeah.
It fills you up so you're not as hungry.
So that is good.
Yeah, and you could do that throughout the party too.
And it's water. It's water. It's good for you.
Amanda Fay, Dr. Otto, and some thoughts on diets. Greg and the Roundup, man, wonderful program at the Concord Food Co-op.
Yep.
Excellent. So come on back next week. Do you know what we're doing next week?
No.
Okay, good.
Excellent. That
Okay,
makes it
3
even
words,
more exciting.
2 words, 1 word.
Yeah,
We're working on this.
If you're in the mood for real food, it's Concord